Often we see anti-feminists use extreme and very vigilant versions of feminists to paint the entire movement as a bad thing. So there are many anti-feminist channels which will find videos of feminists or supposed feminists acting in a manner that's easy to exploit and portray in a bad way for the viewing audience. And indeed, there's an entire channel called Direct Feminist Videos where supposedly feminists are destroyed by anti-SJWs and people with cameras and generally presented in a poor light for the audience to make conclusions about feminism from. And I think that the easiest way to disregard this kind of criticism for feminism and the idea that just taking one person who is either ill-equipped to talk about feminism or being portrayed in a bad light, or even just not a feminist themselves, just killed a feminist and then labeled bad things to denigrate the entire movement. The easy way to get rid of this is to look at the anti-feminist side and look at the worst people on their sort of side of the argument, and their argument would become null and void, I feel, because if you look at the worst anti-feminists, you could easily point to murderers and rapists and people who are in prison for beating up their wives. Or, for instance, the recent shooter of the at the Quebec mosque crisis was an anti-feminist and posted vehemently against feminism on the internet. Would it be fair to take him as an example for all of anti-feminism? And I'm sure many people who criticize feminism would be aghast at the idea of shooting up a mosque because you believe certain people don't deserve to be in your country. There are many people who commit domestic abuse who are against feminism. Again, it would be extremely unfair to portray anyone who's against feminism or anyone who's critical of feminism as a domestic abuser. So for anti-feminists to then take their ideals for what a feminist is and put them onto individuals who either don't represent the entire movement or don't actually constitute a part of the movement is extremely unfair, and I think a testament to the poor nature of criticism that comes from a lot of these channels and figures. Um, the fact that a certain image for feminism has become a meme, the lady with the red hair and the glasses, who I can't really remember the name of, sort of suggests that a lot of the criticism in anti-feminism constitutes of just taking images and concepts of what feminists look like and are, and using it as a stick to beat the entire movement with. And I think that sort of suggests that if you think critically about what is being said, a lot of the arguments fall flat. So I think overall, to sum this relatively quick video up, um, it's important to ignore arguments that purely present a feminist as a certain image or use the worst of the feminist movement as a somehow criticism of the entirety of the movement, because if you were to apply it equally to the other side, you could find much worse characters and much worse actions, um, including murder, rape, and death. So to people who will pull up images of like one person acting like an idiot, there will be thousands more, often undocumented incidences of anti-feminists doing stupid things. Um, and in the long run, if you want to be critical, you need to have arguments which constitute of words, not just putting up images and laughing at someone's appearance.